Are you subscribing or not?
Super made the hits.
Hey everyone. Okay, so let's get into it. Hello. First and foremost, welcome everyone. My name. Yeah, did I ever establish what my? Anyways, whatever. You guys should already know what my name is. I'm just gonna let you guys guess. I mean, hello. Um, anywho, so let's get right into it. I have so much to update you guys on. I don't know. Is this going to be multi-video? This might have to be multi-video. Don't know. So update. No, I did not get the different pencil from Ulta. I did not even step foot in Ulta. Hashtag broke girl status. I didn't go to Ulta. So I'm still looking how I'm looking, and that's okay. I'm not here for others. I'm here for myself. Are my lips chapped? I feel like they are. The last that we ended on, I was preparing to go ahead and do my apprenticeship for piercing. Well, I started this week. And boy. But you guys know that there was a lot of stuff that I did in order to start. First and foremost, I did get my bus pass. So I have been actually riding the bus. That has been its own experience. I that's how I get to the location of my apprenticeship is that I take 2 buses to get there, 2 buses to get back. I would love it if it was only 1 bus because I don't want to do transfers. If you guys saw on the last video that I posted earlier, there was a time that I actually I didn't understand how to hit the button to get off because some of them have like the pull down string, some of them have the button. I couldn't figure out how to press the button. And by the time that I did, I was at the wrong stop and there was no getting to that other stop. So yeah, so it's been an adventure with that alone, with the commute. Catching a bus in the morning and then going to the bus terminal or going to another bus stop and then catching that second bus to get to where I need to get to and then walking from there to the shop. Like it's been crazy. Pervs are on the bus, right? You know, weirdos that I don't know want a body. I don't know. I don't know. There is like this one guy like whenever I go out the house, I always have on like usually like these big headphones. So that people realize that I may not be listening to them, but then also just because I kind of am listening to them, they don't know because they want us, they won't expect me to be listening. But so like this guy, he got on the bus and he got on the bus with this other guy. So they were talking. The guy was sitting in front of me, and then the guy he was talking to was sitting on the next seat. Like there's the aisle and then there's that like next seat. So he was sitting right there. And so they were talking, like I clearly see the dude in front of me talking. I could kind of hear the other guy talking next to me. I was playing music, but I was still, aware. So it came down to a time where he was definitely talking about what music I was listening to. So I started kind of listening a little bit more, trying to like what in the world. So he kept talking though, right? I was listening to Kodak Black. If for those of you guys who do not know, I am a Kodak Black fan. Do not ask me why or how or don't ask. He's funny. So I finally take one earphone off, like, one of the parts of the headset off my ear. And I was like, oh, well, were you talking to me this whole entire time? Because the dude was talking like, I really started to think that maybe he was talking to me a little bit and I just wasn't fully aware. So I had asked that. And then next thing you know, well, he was like, well, no, but I'm talking to you now. Hi. Or he said like hello or something like that. And I was like, oh, hi, how are you? He's like, I'm good. And then he goes, like, what? I was like, no. Like, huh? Like, he really did. Like, Wait, I gotta see myself when I do. Yeah, that's how I look. Why are we doing that? So it took me multiple levels to not beat him up with my cane. Only because he's older. So I was thinking that might be battery or assault with a weapon. Battery. Anyways, I was thinking maybe he's also older. So is there an elderly? I don't know if he was elderly old, but he was older. Look, I just didn't want any problems with no one's grandpa. All right, or great uncle. Okay, I didn't want, but I was so mad. I was just like, what is really going on here? So in the city that I live in, there are a lot of people who are unfortunately on drugs. Okay, um, a lot of them ride the bus too. I got cussed out. Um, yeah, I got cussed out by somebody that clearly there was something going on. Um, and then they called me Rosa Parks. Like they were telling me get in the back, Rosa. They weren't even white. I mean, not saying it would have been better if they were white and said that, but it kind of would have made more sense because they were black. So I don't know. It was weird. Just get in the back, Rosa. Like, no, I'm the other Rosa. I'm like Rosa when she was like, oh nah, son. But technically speaking, you guys know that Rosa was actually in the right section, right? It's just the white person just wanted to take her seat. She was already in the black section, but we'll get into that another time. Anyways, so yeah, so there was that incident. But other than that, like the bus rides have been they've been okay, I guess. Um, there's been like a lot of storms going on, so that has not really made catching the bus that great sometimes. But so I caught the bus 4 days in a row, and so that's 4 buses per day. So I've been on a bus 16 times. Check my math. So I think I kind of have the hang of it of how I want to go ahead and do my bus schedule and stuff. But we'll find out. I feel like I need to do a whole entire I should do a whole entire video on the JTA app, which is Jacksonville Transportation Authority. I feel like I should do like a whole entire video on it, so I could teach people how to use the app. Because the app is actually pretty cool. Like the app, it lets you know where the bus is. If you set your route like as to like how you want to do your buses and stuff, it'll even like talk to you. It'll be like your stop is coming up in two stops or whatever. Like it'll tell you and everything. It'll tell you when the bus is arriving. Like it's actually a really good app because it also does take into account walk time. Although I don't walk as fast, but still it takes into account a lot of things. So I really do like the app. So I mean I might go ahead and do a video on it. I don't know. Now to the actual apprenticeship. So my apprenticeship is at A Dose of Beauty off a cassette. I'll be giving you guys more content like within the actual shop coming up. Just because I'm more so like getting my footing as far as learning and stuff. But I will be showcasing more of the studio. It's been a great 4 days, like great 4 days. I have already actually begun piercing. I've done three sets of earlobes. So essentially I've done 6 piercings. Like one person, 2 ears. So first and foremost, finding an apprenticeship, we'll do a video on that so I could like kind of give my experience of how I found the apprenticeship in general. But with the apprenticeship, one of the things that I have a resource to is this digital book, Face and Body Piercings. Okay. It's just it's a professional guide. It's really good. It goes through like the preparation, procedures, jewelry, piercings, healing and aftercare. So it goes through all of that. So that is what I've been learning out of as far as like literature wise. It's one of the resources that the girl has given me. And like what she does is she actually reads she reads along with me with it, and she gives out the important information, like basically telling me to highlight and stuff. And I love that because it's on my iPad. So I love it because I can make my own annotations. It's very good. She emphasizes on a lot of the main parts of the learning. So there's a lot of stuff in there, but her goal is to make sure that I'm understanding the foundations and that I'm like really understanding what I'm doing. How to measure. I'll hold it this way. How to measure your body jewelry. I mean, I could always upload pictures. I will have some of this stuff inside of my Patreon too, by the way, if you guys are interested in finding out everything. I will have some of this stuff listed in the Patreon. There's a piercing chart as well. Copies of what the consent forms look like, as well as the customer records, which these are all great resources because these are things that you actually need to have as a piercer. Regardless of what stage of piercing you're in, you need to have those things, at least in the state of Florida, you have to have those things accessible. Yeah, you have to have those accessible. It's just in case health inspector comes, this, that, and the third. You need to have all that stuff. I get my piercing kit this upcoming week, so I can't wait to show you guys that. It's been great. So not only have I been given the literature, I've been taking notes as she's been talking. Her style of teaching is like, it's fast paced, but only if you're going that fast. So I didn't realize I was a quick learner until she was teaching me. And I think that maybe it's because I have a lot of interest in piercing. But like, I like the speed that she's been going, but she loves me asking questions, because I'll be asking a lot of questions and she'll just be like, oh, that's a good question, you know, and answering the question for me. And so like, teaching, being able to learn under her has been great. Ooh, oh my God, it's been so great. I'll see if she's willing. Well, I know that she is willing to do more content and everything like that, just so that you guys could get a little bit more of an experience. But yeah, like, her teaching methods have been so great, and she's very encouraging. So she's a no nonsense type of person, but also will recognize when you're ready to go ahead and do something. So it's been great. Every step of the way, she'll say things like, okay, go ahead and do a piercing setup. I need this piercing setup. Go ahead and do it. And literally, she'll walk away. Because we practice the piercing setup. And really, since we're just starting on the earlobes, most of the piercing setup has been the earlobes. But I also did a nose piercing setup and a belly button piercing setup, needle size, and the jewelry. That was really the main difference. I'm able to actually put together a piercing setup. I just need to know, of course, I'm going to be learning the different needles and the jewelry. So basically, what size is the needle and what jewelry, especially what jewelry size. You know, a lot of these are going to be, of course, putting together for starter jewelry. So they're not going to be like outrageous sizes or anything like that. But just knowing how to put together a setup has been really good. And I like that type of training. I like that type of, okay, you saw me do it this amount of times, now you go ahead and do it. She's just been more like, okay, I want to make sure that you know what you're doing. So I pierced 2 people on Tuesday. They were actually employees. I'm so glad that they allowed me to pierce them. I got to experience what it's like to have a client pass out, because the second girl, she started passing out on the second ear. And so like, that was very interesting. I got to see different types of ear anatomy, which was great. Like, I really do enjoy this. Like, it's been really fun. It's been a fun 4 days. It's been a lot of learning though. So there's that. It has not been easy. It's just been challenging, you know? Challenging because I'm having to learn a new skill. And I know I shouldn't be like hard on myself because, like, I mean, think about it. I've only been doing this for 4 days, so it's not like I can really be upset. But at the same time, it's kind of like, okay, I see where I need to work on, and I want to be able to work on it and crush it. Because she asked me, well, what are things that you want to work on? And I said I need to work on marking. That is one of the times that I'm not as confident is placing my mark. Like, I'm okay with driving that needle through, at least through the ears for now. I'm okay with that, but it's like making sure that I'm placing it in the right spot, and doing the piercing is important to me. It's also important to the client, and it's important for like the overall look of like any studio. Very important to make sure that you're doing the placements correctly. So yeah, so other than that, like, I mean, it's been great. And like, I was practicing on boxes yesterday, like acting like the box was a nose and putting in a nose piercing and stuff like that. So like, there have been like different ways of doing extra practice. I practice on ear molds, on the ear mold for the earlobe piercing and stuff. So like, she basically wants me to be able to pierce confidently. And one of the best ways that I feel like she's doing that is by giving me different situations and different material to pierce through. And personally, I'm not scared of piercing ear. Like I said, I just need to work on my placement. Other than that, I can put the needle in. Now, yesterday, so Wednesday, I was a tad bit nervous when I was going to do this one person's piercing, because the gloves that we have at the shop, since she's like the only piercer, the gloves are actually smaller. So, and I have the bigger hand. So I was just like, a little bit on that. So we had to go ahead and switch. We had to go ahead and find some gloves and everything. But yeah, I learned that like really the customer can tell if you're nervous. Because the customer did say, and this is not someone who worked at the shop either, but the customer did say, "Oh, you seem a little jittery." So that was probably the downside. But you live and you learn. But nothing went wrong though. Like, her piercings turned out actually great. I forgot to take pictures of them, but her piercings actually turned out pretty well. There's a lot of learning going on, of course. A lot of questions that I had asked, a lot of prep. I like how much prep I have been doing. So it's important to have all of your materials already together before you start piercing. This whole entire thing has been an interesting process. Then one of my LinkedIn connections gifted me the piercing Bible. This is a book that is actually a highly recommended, with a lot of piercers, especially the ones that are on YouTube. It's highly recommended. I've seen it also on some people's websites to go ahead and get. This is, I mean, honestly, it's good if you're a piercing enthusiast, if you're trying to get into having piercing as a profession, or even if you just you're thinking about getting your next piercings and you're trying to figure out, like, how to go about it and stuff. This has it all. This has history of piercing, modern day piercing, different types of piercing, the healing time, and different equipment. Like, this has it all. This has it all. So definitely would recommend this. But yeah, so that really has been that's been my first week of piercing. If you guys are in the Jacksonville area, starting this, I think, Sunday through Wednesday, I will be practicing my nose piercings. So if you guys want a nose piercing and you are located in the Jacksonville area, look up A Dose of Beauty. It is on Cassett next to the freeway. I'll be doing them. They are going to be $20, all tips. I will be able to make them. Any tips that you guys do give do go to me. So if you guys do come and you guys want a tip, that would really help out so much. And yeah, Thank you guys so much for watching the video. Was that it? It was the bus nonsense, my first week apprenticeship, the book. I think that might be it. Yeah. I think that might be it for this video. So, thank you guys so much for hearing me rant and rave and all that jazz. And I'll see you guys on the next video.